Okay, everyone, well, I make that 5 p.m, so we will just get started. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to this really exciting session with Kirsty and Stephen from COL Scotland. This is our third session of the Digital Literacy Week. We've had 2 great sessions already this morning, and this week is all about celebrating bringing our learning to life by the digital tools and the skills and the knowledge that we have and can all bring together creatively. There's a whole mixture of live lessons, sharing practice sessions, and a range of professional learning options like this session tonight. This one has been recorded and it will be made available via our DigiLearn Scot blog. Please pop any questions, any comments into the chat box or use the raise hand function and you'll be able to turn your microphone on. We will send out a follow-up email with a link to the slides. Pop them in the chat as well for your convenience too. So yeah, let's join Kirsten as she takes you on a journey of discovery around the COL Scotland website and all the resources and information that they have on there for supporting learners with additional support needs. Thanks so much, Kirsty.
Great, thanks for the introduction, Eva. I'm hoping that you're able to see all my slides, and I know that you'll let me know if there's any issues throughout with any audio or anything. So thanks for joining me this afternoon, everybody. We've called it a journey of discovery because people always tell us that what a great support we are at COL and what great things we produce that support them as practitioners, parents or learners, or they tell us that they've no idea about these resources. So hopefully this evening it will be that journey of discovery, that you'll be able to find things that you need to help either you as that practitioner that's supporting learners, or if you're a parent supporting your young person, or if you're looking for some support for yourself. So from the main COL Scotland page, you know, we've been around since 1983, helping children and young people to overcome disability and barriers to their learning, and really to help them fulfil their potential. So obviously there's been lots of change and development over the last 40 years, but something that hasn't changed and has remained constant throughout is that our learners and our young people really are at the heart of what we do. So we have service level agreements with many local authorities across Scotland where we provide an agreed level of assessment and support annually. And then we also have our inquiry service where we support right across the country via telephone and online. I've only got a few slides this afternoon because I really want to take you round that website. I want to point you towards things that you can then bookmark and revisit at your leisure. So goals for this afternoon's session is to really explore the websites because, and I've said websites because we have more than one. In fact, we've got 9 that we host and manage. Each site is host to many of its own resources, and we will look at these in turn this afternoon as quickly as I can. Next, we've got ready-made resources, and hopefully across the websites you really are going to uncover, or I'm going to uncover for you, a lot of ready-made materials. Obviously our most popular are within our download section where we've got the app wheels that lots of people talk about, so yeah, we'll look at that. We will look at professional learning, which is another source of income for us at Call Scotland, and it's really evolving as we try to meet the CLPL needs of busy practitioners across Scotland and often worldwide, and we have lots of parents that join us for these sessions as well. What you will see today is going to be slightly changing through the autumn term, so it really is a case of watch this space and keep coming back and revisiting our website. And then you'll find out how we can be contacted. So let's get looking at the website. So we've got these 9, which we're going to go through today. So this is a snip of where you will find our download section. It's on the main Call Scotland page, and I've popped a QR code there. As Eva said, I have popped a copy of my slides into the chat, so you should be able to access those now. And then this is currently what the PL site looks like, or page looks like, but it is going to be changing. Okay, so let's go straight to the main page. So this is our main website, and I would describe it as the glue that really holds the rest together. So you can locate everything else that you need from this main page. So our main tabs on the main page, and then we can get to the other websites across the top. So we've got our main areas here. Go to information. Here, if you have learners with specific additional support needs, and you might be wondering how technology, assistive technology, could really help to support them, then this is where you need to be going. You need to be going to the information tab. That would be my first port of call. So we've categorized things very much in terms of the learners that we go out to visit, or that we receive inquiries about from teachers and parents. So let's just go into ASC. So we've got information around characteristics and what ASC may look like. We know it's a spectrum. We know that everybody is an individual. But we do have lots of ways that we can generally support. So obviously we take each case individually, but we can then think about, well, how can technology support in general terms? So lots and lots to explore here, and unfortunately I don't have time to go through every one in each area of ASN this afternoon, so we're just going to pick one or two as we go through. So we might think about literacy support. We can find some suggestions. We've got links to other resources, and I have to say that ASC is on my to-do list. It's on my summer jobs list, so there will be some updates coming to this page on the website over the coming months. So again, we've got links then to text-to-speech, similar links that we would have under dyslexia as well. So text-to-speech, we think about text readers and what they can provide for us. So if we've got learners with literacy difficulties, be it learners with a diagnosis of ASC or with an identification of dyslexia, it doesn't matter. There's lots of crossovers here. So why would we use the text reader? Might be if we have fluency difficulties, concentration difficulties, decoding difficulties. And then we could think about, well, what would we want? So if we've got crossover here, and we're going to come back to this about the Scottish Voices, because that is one of our main pages that we will look at. So the text reader reads the text aloud, it converts it to speech, and we did used to have to scan things, but now we have much more available to us. So one of the ones we're going to look at here is Natural Reader, and it's a really popular one that we recommend a lot for Windows devices. So I've got Natural Reader already installed on my laptop, and I have the Scottish Voices installed as well. So if I was using Natural Reader, which is free to download from our website, so we can download it. Got all the instructions on how to do that. Can you install it free on computers at school? Yes, the free version you can. So I've got it installed already. I'm just going to open that up. So you'll see that mine has gone to a floating toolbar. Let me just bring that over. We go to more, we can go to mini board. So it's just sitting there floating. Okay. So if I highlight and I press play.
A school has contacted me to ask if they can install free Natural Reader on the computers in the school. Can you advise if this is acceptable under your license?
So there I've got the web page read out aloud, and I'm using the Scottish Voice as well. So this was just under information, and we went to the ASC page, and then we went to the text to speech. I'm just going to minimize that just now. There are other options available there, but Natural Reader is a great one that we use a lot these days. So things have changed. We've got Immersive Reader built in as well, but this is a free one that's downloadable from our website. So let's go back. So we're back on the ASC page, how the technology can support. And then we can go to dyslexia. We've broken that down. Similarly, writing, reading, numeracy, what the research says about technology. So if we pick, go into reading, and again, we've got links to posters that we've created, how the technology can support. We've got short videos on iPads. We've got Chromebook guides. So no matter which device your learners or your young people are using, we've got advice and support there as well. So that's under the Information tab. And then we've got our learning, professional learning. What does that look like? So we deliver a huge amount of high quality CLPL, and that's part of my remit for organising and planning and delivering a lot of our CLPL. This page is going to be changing as well as we update over the summer. We continue to deliver lots of webinars. So the whole list, the current list of webinars, we've only got a couple still to go this term, but one this Wednesday. All the webinars are free, so they start at 30 minutes and they are free with time built in there for question and answer. And then we've also got our archive of webinars as well. So if there's something that you're looking for in particular, you can do a search. We are looking at how we're going to organise this because we have a huge archive available. So lots of providers of software and hardware, but we're thinking about how we're going to organise that so that it's a bit easier to access. So this goes way back, so certainly a lot to look at there. That's the webinars. And then if we look back, so we've got currently 30 and 60-minute workshops. Those are, we're starting some 30-minute ones in next week, actually, is the first one. So this is what we've still got up and coming this term. And then again, we've got an archive. This is just from this session, so these can still be purchased. So lots available. If there's something that you are looking for in particular, you can search for it. It might be in the archive. And then we also do longer courses. They start at 5 weeks. We've got a 5-week dyslexia course. We're currently in the middle of an 8-week complex needs course. And then usually starting in February each year, we have a 10-week course. And when we say 5-week, 8-week, 10-week, they're supported with online workshops, weekly workshops from the COL team. So yeah, ranging from 30 minutes right up to 10 weeks, and a full archive as well. And we've got our annual technology conference coming up in June, which I'll mention in a wee bit. So we've got our information, we've got our learning, and then we've got downloads. So huge amount of resources available here. We've got newsletters that have links, and you can sign up to join our newsletter. That's at the bottom of our homepage. Monthly newsletters, and again, an archive of those. So keep current, and our blog posts, we always link our new blog posts on our newsletter as well. Probably the area of our website that receives a huge amount of traffic is in the downloads, and then the posters and leaflets. So these are all free and available to download. Really popular, particularly I mentioned App Wheels. This is what they look like. So if I just go into the iPad one for complex communication, and when we go to the downloads, these are live PDFs, so you can find out they're fully interactive. You can click and preview each one before downloading, so it will tell you all about it. We've got a key at the bottom, so free apps, switch access, head tracking, and eye tracking. Yeah, so you can find out all about those from the App Store before you download the app, or before you choose to download the poster as well. So lots available there, and we are constantly reviewing and updating. So if you come across any apps that don't work, please let us know, and likewise, if you come across something that you feel should be on there, please do get in touch with us. So that's our downloads, lots of resources available there. Okay, the last tab there, I suppose, to mention on the homepage is the loan bank, where you can borrow some equipment from us. It tends to be that when we go out to assess pupils, we sometimes make a recommendation or sometimes leave some loaned equipment, but if there's something that you feel might be worthwhile for your pupil to try for a short time, then you can have a look on our loan bank. It's not fully extensive, or not as extensive as we would like it to be, but that all comes down to cost. Okay, so that's our main website. Our next website I'm going to look at is our Books for All. So this is where you can find resources that can directly support your learners. Our books are in accessible formats for your students who have a print disability. Now, this print disability, what is that? So it might be visual impairment, it might be dyslexia, it might be a reading difficulty, learning disability, or even a physical disability. It doesn't, however, apply to anyone with English as an additional language, nor does it apply to learners who are being homeschooled unless they meet that previous definition of print disability. So unless they fall into one of those categories that I mentioned. As a Scottish educator, you can register for a free Books for All account, and then all the conditions attached are here. So it's up to you to read the copyright. It is complicated, but it's important that you keep yourself right. So I'm just going to share what a downloaded book might look like. I've got a TJ Maths book here, and you'll see that it has some answer boxes and that I've already clicked on the editing tool. So I was using the editing tool here, the drawing tools, because this is opened up within the Edge browser. So PDFs are fully editable in there. So this one, it's got answer boxes. So I was using the drawing tool. I click off the drawing tool and I come back here, I'm able to type in the box. So which is the next one? No pressure, now everybody's watching. 819. So I can then use the drawing tool and I can say, okay, because with my paper version, I would be saying to people, I want you to mark them off. Once you've used them, mark them off so you know you've used them. And it's the same with the accessible version. We can highlight, we can edit on there using the draw. We can annotate using the drawing tools. So that's what one of the TJ Maths books looks like. Here I've got a comprehension book. So if I bring back up my natural reader, I've read the passage that's above. I'm going to highlight and I'm going to...
The caterpillar looks like clowns or butterflies.
So I've read aloud there, and then I can put my text box in so I can answer, and if I want to use speech to text in there, I can do that. I can bring up my microphone by doing my Windows shortcut and H. Clowns. And it's picked me up incorrectly. I usually would wear my headset when I'm doing that. So there you go. I tested it earlier and it was fine without the headset. But so I could copy, I could type it in. It's fully editable in the Edge browser. So that was, I brought up my natural reader with the Scottish Voices again there to have it read aloud. And yeah, so that's two books. So that was a maths book and a comprehension book that we had available there. And you can request digital versions of the BookBug picture books that are sent out to all primary ones via the Scottish Book Trust each year. So we make accessible digital versions of those as well, and that they can be downloaded for free from the Books for All website as well. So we will look at the digital bookshelf. It's one of the downloads. There we go. Sorry, I was too far down the page. That's one of the downloads available from the resources section, the downloads. And lots of past year books are there as well. You can see from the key at the top, we've got those that are PowerPoint recorded with switch prompts, those that are recorded narration, Keynote for the iPad, Grid for iPad, and Grid 3. And as you get further down, the more recent books, they've got all of those. So we've obviously over the years, we've been adding the resources or the way that they are accessible. That has just increased over time. So that's our Books for All. So we've also got Word Talk. Now that is one of the speech to text earlier versions, I would say, of speech to text, and it is available for download for free. It's a Windows resource, a toolbar that sits neatly in Microsoft Word under add-ins. It's not used so much now, but it was very popular in its day, and it warranted at the time its own website. It's not used so much now due to other options, mostly those that are built in, be that Select to Speak on the Chromebook, be it Immersive Reader on Windows, or the Speak Screen, Speak Selection on the iPad. But sometimes it's about keeping it simple for certain learners, so it's still there, it still exists. But that's all I'm going to say about that one just now. The Scottish Voices. So you heard already the Natural Reader reading aloud using Scottish Voices, and that's because I've got them installed on my Windows laptop. So they are available for free download from our website for Windows or Mac users. You can purchase those for Chromebooks through the Google store. So the options that we have, we can listen to them and hear them first. We've got Heather.
We believe there is a strong cultural and educational imperative for pupils, students and people with disabilities in Scotland.
We've got Stuart, who was the
We
voice
believe
I
there is
had.
a strong cultural and educational imperative.
We've got Katie, the Gaelic voice.
Fisker mar, is musje kechi.
We've got the teenage voice, we've got Callum.
We believe there is a strong cultural and educational.
Isla.
We believe there is a strong cultural and educational imperative.
Andrew.
We believe there is a strong cultural and educational.
And Mary.
We believe there is a strong cultural and educational.
So up to a learner's preference then, which one they like to listen to. So mine currently was on with Stuart. So if I just go to this book that we've got that I've already downloaded, this is George's Marvellous Medicine. We'll go, here we go, and we'll bring up the Natural Reader.
The caterpillar looks like.
Hang on, sorry.
D. Do not try to make George's Marvellous Medicine yourselves at home. It could be dangerous.
Good warning to have at the beginning of that book. So the whole PDF could be pulled in there and can be controlled from this floating mini bar. So we've got two things there coming together. We've got the Natural Reader that is available for free download, and we've got the Scottish Voices also available for free on the website there as well. Anything else to mention there? Yeah, I think just to say that it's, it's really pertinent that to know that there is a legislative duty on the provision of communication equipment in Scotland that gives both children and adults the right to communication and the support that they need to use their communication equipment. So to have Scottish Voices available, it's just fabulous, rather than having to listen to computer voices all the time. And that's something, yes, Immersive Reader has the Microsoft Voice, but within Microsoft Word, we also have the option to have Speak, and that you can use the Scottish Voice as well if you have that downloaded to your device. Okay, so Scottish Voices. Go to next. Let's go to Symbols for All. So you'll notice that each time this refreshes, because we don't have space across the top, so once we click on it, we can get to all the websites that are available. So our Symbols for All. Again, lots of ready-made resources here. We've got curricular resources, huge amounts that have been made here, both in Boardmaker, which is PCS symbols, and Imprint, which are made by Widget. These are available for download as they are. If I just go to Colours Game, so it's got the boards, got the ones that you would pull out with the symbols to then match to the board. We've got go to Chatboard, and if you have already in your school or your establishment access to Boardmaker or access to Imprint, You can download these and you can edit them. They're fully editable once they're downloaded. So if, for example, it was one learner that was using it and you didn't use glue out of a bottle, you used a glue stick, then you might want to put in your own image there with the glue. You might want to put in what your recycle looks like. It might be a blue bag, or your own waste bin in your classroom. If you've got learners that need to know exactly, then you could put in your photographs or your own images in there. So fully editable once you download them. So loads there. I'll just scroll down so you can see exactly what all there is. And it's organised by curricular area as well. Health and wellbeing, language literacy, numeracy, both RME, science. Also great starters, you know, for example there we've got a core word board for computing. That might give you ideas to get started with a communication board in another area of the curriculum. So a great way to just even be a starter for 10 for you. If it's not exactly what you're looking for, it might be that you're looking for something similar. Also on the Symbols for All, we've got Core Word Kit, which my colleague Claire has developed, and she currently has a waiting list for people who want to borrow this. It has everything in it, extremely popular. It's everything in it from batteries to Core Word Kit to the actual core word boards, I should say. So a full list of what all you get in there. eTran, Frame, GoTalks, which are communication devices, step-by-steps, and the batteries are required for them. So even a screwdriver, if you need to replace the batteries, it's all there, even the Velcro. So it's very popular, and hence there is a waiting list to borrow that from us. And then also located within the Symbols for All website is the BookBug resources that I mentioned earlier. So if we scroll down, each year we make symbolised resources to support the books that are provided to Primary 1 learners from the Scottish Book Trust. For each book, we have a huge amount of resources that can be printed. We've got symbols for buttons, Big Macs. We've got overlays for a GoTalk. This one is brilliant because not only can it be used within a GoTalk communication device, but you can laminate it and print it off and put it. It's in a low-tech version inside the back cover of the book. So you've still got a communication board alongside the book that you can use for discussion and for shared reading experience there. So there are clicker resources to support each book. There is also a sounding board which goes with the free iPad app sounding board, and it looks exactly the same. I can't open it because it's linked to iPad, but once you have your iPad and you open that up, you can download them for free. Also got Grid 3 for each one as well, and that's just this year's ones. We also have the archive for previous years, so we've got those located in there. And scroll down, and you'll see you can keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So each year is there. Goes really far back. So once you get started with this year's and discover how they work and can support your learners, there's a lot more available that you can then revert back to, and you can look at the bookshelf, digital bookshelf, and get the rated versions of the book as well once you've signed up for your Books for All account. So huge amount of resources available on the Symbols for All website on its own. I think the fact that there is such a huge archive as well makes it an even more valuable resource, really. So that's the symbols for all. And then if I go back to get the AAC. So we've got our Augmentative and Alternative Communication website, AAC. So it's used to describe obviously various methods of communication that help learners who are unable to use verbal speech to communicate. And hosted on this website are free AAC modules. They are self-study and they are a fantastic place to get started with you building your own knowledge and understanding of AAC. So there are 2 series of modules. It's 5 in each one. Yeah, oh no, more in the second one. 7 modules in the second one, 5 in the first. Yeah. So a lot to work through, and there's some quizzes, interactive modules, so they're a great place to start your AAC learning journey. And then under the downloads, again, it could be named AAC resources because it is a huge amount of, there are a huge amount of resources located here. So there are some posters that actually are on the main downloads page as well. Just a treasure trove if we keep going. So we've got some guides, and then we've got this, here is this hidden treasure trove of communication boards. So lots of low-tech options to convey a message. We'll go to this one for going on the bus. So portable, easy to take with you for a situation that you could that your learner could find themselves in, that they need to be able to communicate, and they've got it. They can just show and point. So that's the bus. We've got one for in the lunch hall or at meal times. So could support at home. And then we've got these pocket cards. So pocket cards 1, 2, and 3. They can be printed off like a fan, linked together with like a keyring loop. So again, so portable and so available at, for when they are really needed. All available for free. So a huge amount of communication boards there. And then if we're still scrolling down this page. This Keep Talking communication book was created by a colleague of mine, and I wish I had known that these were all located, where these were all located. I actually had access to the book, so I refer to the book a lot. But if you had 5 minutes in your class and you've got time for a quick game, here could be something that you might want to play. So on these games, each card has got the communication aim, it's got the what you need, it's got the vocabulary that you're going to be using, and then it's got the rules for how to play the game. And each one is the same. It's laid out in exactly the same format. So great, so that's just the 5-minute standbys. We've got out and abouts, we've got work and play, playing with friends. Just going to one of those. Everything that you need in one place. Communication group, lots of ideas there as well. So yeah, that one's a real treasure trove of resources. And on to the next website is our passports. So again, we've got a resources tab here. So lots of templates available for you to create your own personal communication passports. If you're creating paper ones or electronic ones, we've got some downloadable versions here and lots of articles about why you might want to have a personal communication passport and the thinking behind those. So, sorry, I know I'm going fast now, but I'm very conscious of time. So, that's our personal communication passports. And last one there is across the top is our digital exams, and they're my colleague Paul is the absolute guru on that, and I know that he's going to be looking a bit about this further on in his session on Wednesday. So again, we've got some downloads, we've got some examples of assessments that are available, an answer booklet, a digital question paper, with answers. So yeah, lots of downloads and some information about getting started with the digital exams as well, if that's something that you are interested in. So those are our websites, lots of them, and lots tucked away in lots of places, and hopefully now you'll be able to find those again at your leisure. The last website that I've not mentioned was our conference website. It has its own, so you can book your place for the 13th of June there. The programme guide is there. So yeah, lots and lots for you to explore. I'm just going to go back to the slides now, and I want to leave you with this thought around curriculum for excellence in Scotland. So I said at the beginning that our learners are really very much at the centre of what we do and what we're about. And we at Call Scotland need to ensure that what we do, it really supports the 4 capacities of curriculum for excellence. So we need to ensure that we continue to support educators and parents through our commitment of assessment and support by the resources that we're continually developing, as well as through the professional learning programme that we provide. So we want our learners to be successful. If they have difficulties getting started on a task, we need to make sure that technology is used to be engaging and motivating, and there's lots of hints and tips and ways that you can do that on our website. We want them to be confident individuals. If they find it hard to write down their answers, we've got these accessible books that have answer spaces in them. So lots of tools that they can still demonstrate their learning with. Being responsible citizens, if they can't access the information in print form, then we can provide it in an alternative accessible version. And we want them to be effective communicators, so we want them to still communicate through their thoughts, their feelings, their knowledge, by using symbols, by using communication devices. So we want them to know what is available and how we can use them, and how we as educators can support them to use them as well. So it was very much a whistle-stop tour of our websites, and I hope that was a bit of an insight for some of you.
You deserve a medal, Kirstine, for getting through so much of the information in 45 minutes. That should have been the challenge of Scottish Digital Literacy Week. When you say it's a treasure chest of resources, oh, that doesn't even do it justice. There's so much on the site, free, and all different versions as well. Yeah, definitely spend some of your professional learning time just going through those tabs and having a wee try. I mean, you could spend weeks.
Yeah, and it's like, I think that's why in the slides I've just put a couple of QR codes there as well. But yeah, I could have put lots more. I think it is worth time, just spending a bit of time finding things and bookmarking them.
Good stuff. So I've stopped the recording.